what's the main thing that you look at as a digger?
Thank you. Okay. So let's say when they're hitting, as a digger, the first thing I look at is their approach, and usually the opposite hand from where they're hitting, that's the first one that goes up when they hit. So I look at how deep the shoulder drop is, because if the shoulder drop is super deep and they're like fully extending, they're hitting it to you hard, like super low, and you got to get down. And then the next thing I pay attention to is the actual hitting hand. You have to look at the shoulder to elbow ratio to really kind of get a feel of where exactly the ball might be going. And also the hands too, the wrist, it's really important. And then the hips, usually when someone's hitting cross court, you can really see their hips just turn, like torquing. So that's how you know they're going to hit it deep into the corner on the other side cross court. But let's say they stay like straight on, they're obviously going to hit either line or they're going to hit more towards where the middle libero should be at.
As a digger, where do you place yourself when your block is up?
I'm going to make this real clear. Outside of the blockers. Always outside of the blockers. And if there's a hit that goes by and where the blocker's hand should be, that is not your fault. But either way, if you're outside of the blockers should be covering that middle backspace or the middle part of the court. So even if your blockers miss it, you still have to come in rather than outwards to get the dig if it messes up or if they tip. It's way easier to come inside than trying to being right behind the blockers and then going outside, and the ball has way more likelihood of going out and about. You got to communicate, because you have to have a loud voice, because you have to communicate and tell everybody where to go. Like, that's basically your job. Like, you have to point out where you need people to go. You need to be just managing the back row all the time. And also, it's like your job because you see, when you're in the back row as a libero, you see things that your hitters don't see, that your setters don't see. So it's like your job to really be loud about it and to vocalize that, you know, what you're seeing, and be prepared for them and all that stuff. To any aspiring liberos, you guys gotta really like own the court. So you have to be really determined. You have to want the ball, honestly. You really have to want the ball, because if you don't want the ball, there's no point in you being a libero. I was gonna cuss there. Oops. But yeah, and you have to go after the ball. Like, I don't know what else to say. You really gotta want the ball, and you have to follow it and chase it and sacrifice your whole body all the time. It's kind of fun.